Hi, this is Operation Market Garden. It's the latest in the games from Little Bighorn Games. This is the box. If we turn it over, this is a two-player game, about half an hour to play, which I completely agree with. And yeah, it's the latest in the series of games. Here, for example, I've got the Eastern Front game. We've got the Operation Overlord game and the Battle of Britain. These are all the World War II games. I've played those games extensively with family and friends. They're great in the sense that they're very small and portable. They're very straightforward to play and very quick to play, but they also have a real depth of strategy to them. So we're going to have a look at the individual cards and have a look at how it plays. So in this example, we've got an imaginary two-player game set up just here. In the game, you're fighting for a series of bridges. In this example, we're fighting for Eindhoven. Put that to one side. And there's a series of battles to determine who wins that bridge. The battles are very straightforward. As the allied player, I would pick a battle card. I'd pick, if I wanted to, a tactic card, and I'd pick an equipment card depending on what I wanted to do. In this example, I've picked 50th Division with an attack of 1. I've got a defend card here that gives me a +1, but if I use this with a Piat or howitzer, I get a +2. But I can only use this once per bridge. Same with this one as well. So I get 1 +2, 3, plus another 2, makes it 5. So I've got an attack value of 5 here. At the same time that I've picked my cards, the German player picking his or her cards. And let's say, for example, they just pick a just one battle card. You can only pick one. You don't always have to pick an equipment card and a tactic card as well. They've just put down their parachute army, the Fallschirmjäger, and that's an attack of 4. So my attack is 5 against the 4. I win that battle, and that's one battle to me. And you go through your deck of cards, picking out in your turn the battle cards that you want to use. What I love about this game, what I love about this series, is it's a lot of decision making, because I only have 2 more equipment cards here. I only have 2 more tactic cards, and yet I've got another 6 battle cards to go through, and I can only use these. They're not exhausted, they exhaust, so I can't just keep using them. So effectively, when it's my turn, I have to pick and choose which cards I want to play. And what you get is this great sort of bluffing scenario where once you've done one battle, so we've done, let's just say, sake of argument, that the Allies won Eindhoven, and we're going to do the next battle. So the Allies have that card. Do the next bridge. Each player will try and think of what they saw their opponent do for the last bridge and anticipate their attacks, anticipate what cards they're going to be using, what combination they're going to be using. And that, for a two-player game, is so much fun. That unpredictability of the game, that level of tactical decision-making to the game makes it, just a huge amount of fun. And that's what gives the game that variety and that depth. Plus, thrown into that, you have event cards. Event cards can alter the battle. So, for example, whilst this is just one I picked off the top here, element of surprise. Whilst in play, the German player cannot use their tactic cards. So while we're fighting for this bridge here, in this example, at this point in time, the German player can't use those tactic cards. And there are a whole bunch of different event cards. And this card stays in play until this card is replaced, and then that card is removed from the game. So you have this extra layer of depth to the gameplay, which is absolutely fantastic. I've played this game now a whole bunch of times with my family, because we're here in lockdown at the minute, so I'm playing it with my family. And yeah, the look on your opponent's face when you you've played your best hand, or maybe you've played just a great battle card from here. It's just so much fun. There is enough historical content in here for someone like myself who plays a lot of historical war games. But at the same time, you don't need to come to this game with that amount of knowledge. It doesn't matter if you have never played at Operation Market Garden or never read a book about Operation Market Garden. Maybe you've seen the film A Bridge Too Far or something like that when you were younger. Great, but it's not essential at all. What is great about this game is the game mechanics come first, and then if you do have that historical understanding, that's just an extra layer on top of it. The other thing I'd like to mention is the rules. The rules are really very straightforward. They exist on 3 cards, so you've got 6 sides of rules. I've given this to people to read the rules for the first time, and they read the rules 5 or 10 minutes, put some cards out, tried the mechanic, instantly got it. It's a very accessible game. It is not a huge amount of preparation required. It only takes 5 minutes to lay the cards out, sort through them. And that's what makes it so accessible. It's what makes it a great, fun, tactical, decision-making orientated card game for you, family, friends. Doesn't matter that, like I said, that they might not play a lot of history or World War II war games. None of that matters. It's a very approachable and friendly game for the first time player. The other thing I would say as well, I've played all the games in the series with my kids, and I've played this game with people who've never played it before, and I found that just as challenging in a good way. So even if you've never played and you're playing against someone who's played a lot, you can still hold your own. It's got those mechanics at the forefront that you don't need to. If you're playing against someone who's played it a lot, they haven't got for sure they've got a little bit of advantage because they understand the cards, but it still leads for quite a tense game, I would describe. The other thing I'd like to just talk briefly about is the Victoria Cross. This really elegantly reflects the huge bravery in this theatre from history. For example, here we've got the Nijmegen Bridge. And famously Arnhem. What this card does is reward the British player and recognises the incredible bravery of from a historical point of view. And the British player can use this card through the game. It's just a great touch, a great nod to both the history and the historical event. You don't need to use it. It gives the British player an advantage, and then you swap sides and let the other player play as the British. But what I loved about this was, as I've said, this is one of the periods of World War II history that I've read huge amounts about, and it's a really brilliant nod to the incredible bravery of the troops involved in Operation Market Garden, and it's elegantly done in the game, and it does help give that game a bit more longevity. You can play, one player would play as the British and you swap sides and see who can gain the most number of bridges to the British. It was a great touch, and yeah, brilliantly done. The other card I'd like to talk a little bit about is the Allied Division cards. These again have a gameplay impact. The German player is going to try and reduce these to 0. So for example, we've got K rations here. Once at 0, the German player can stop the Allied player from using that Victoria Cross card that we mentioned earlier. And there's a whole bunch of those to play with as well. These effectively, again, just give the game, which is a very straightforward, elegantly designed game, just give that kind of extra depth of gameplay when we're thinking about replayability, playing the game over, and they are a lot of fun. Yeah, we had a lot of fun. There was one in particular. Let me find it now. That wasn't that one. I think it was the morale card in particular that we particularly enjoyed. Yeah, it was a lot. Yeah, a lot of fun. So what you have with this game, and what I love about this game, is on the surface. And again, you can, you don't have to start playing with these. These are extra mechanics that you can layer in. So when you first start in the game, first playing with someone who's new to the game, you don't need to worry about any of those. You don't need to worry about the Victoria Cross. You're just having a lot of fun doing the battles, winning the bridges, seeing how many bridges the Allied player can get to before switching over to the switching sides, and see how far the opponent can get to. It's just a lot of fun. And then you can layer in those extra mechanics. So again, another great game to the series of games. I've enjoyed every single game in this series. I've played them extensively with family and friends. They are one of our go-to travel games because they're so much fun. And it doesn't matter, again, people who are not familiar with the history, it doesn't matter at all. The mechanics do a great job. And actually, this game, when we were playing this game, I was telling my kids a little bit about the history as well, which was awesome. So yeah, great stuff. Component-wise, absolutely brilliant. The quality of the cards is impeccable. They have been played with extensively from the other games and held up really well. The rules are very clear. The artwork I absolutely love. Absolutely love the graphical style of the game and the feel of the game. Really captures the kind of period of history that we're talking about here. Another superb edition. So yeah, and a lot of fun. So yeah, highly recommended. And yeah, thanks for watching.